I set myself the ultimate challenge to try and swap, trade and sell my way to owning my first ever supercar. To get there, I started swapping and selling cars to eventually make enough money to actually buy one. And things were going great. One by one, I managed to work my way up repairing cars until I got myself a Honda Integra Type R. I sold it for £11,300, which is almost halfway to the cheapest supercar, an Audi R8. But shortly after selling that car, everything took a turn for the worst. I left my driveway, got a unit and ended up getting kicked out, so for nearly 8 months I was left with nowhere to work on cars or make videos. Which meant for them 8 months I had no other choice but to use the funds for my supercar to keep the channel going. So unfortunately, from that £11,300 I'm only left with £2,000 to find a car. But today we're back on the way to that supercar, and now with this unit we can do things bigger and better. So, with £2,000, let's try and find a car. Okay, we have had to take a little bit of a step back, unfortunately, but I've always kept it real with you guys and been fully transparent. We've took a bit of a step back, but we are gonna get back up and running and get to that supercar once and for all. So, we've got £2,000 to spend, which was left from the last car that we sold. So ideally, we want to find a car that we can buy for a little bit less than £2,000 that's worth maybe around £3,000 or £4,000 that is broken and we can fix. So I guess the only thing for me to do is get on the internet and get looking for a car to buy. So like old times, I got on Facebook Marketplace, Auto Trader and all of the car sites to try and find a car that is broken but is of course worth more. That way when I fix it, we'll be able to make some profit with it. And it wasn't long until I actually found one. An Audi TTS with a weird noise coming from the rear, a bearing or maybe even the diff, so I thought it's probably worth a call. Okay, I've actually found on Auto Trader a 2009 Audi TTS and they want £2,000 for it. It's at a dealership and they say that it's got a whining noise coming from the rear. So I think I'm going to give them a call, and what I really want to know is if it's just either like a diff or a wheel bearing, which they say it could be, why they're not kind of fixing it themselves and selling it for 4 or 5 grand. So yeah, I think it's worth dropping them a quick call and just seeing what they say. How you doing, mate? I'm just calling about the red Audi TTS that you've got on Auto Trader.
Yeah, it has been sold, buddy, sorry.
Oh, is it gone, has it?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, no problem, mate. Thank you very much.
Cheers, buddy. Thanks, mate. Bye.
Cheers, bye-bye. Damn. Still on Auto Trader, so I'm assuming that's gone this morning. That would have been perfect. Weird noise from the back. Fix that, make profit. Right, let's carry on looking. So, as I paced up and down the unit, I was searching high and low, making a few phone calls, trying to find that perfect car. Okay, so I've put a little post on my Instagram and just asking if any of you guys have got a car that's broken, you don't want to fix it yourself, that's in need of some repair work. So we'll see if anyone gets back to me on that, and for now, I'll just keep looking and hope that we can find something. But not long after, one of you guys actually responded to me and told me that you've got a pretty interesting car, a Mark V Golf GTI. It's got a few faults which for me would be perfect, so we jumped straight in the Suzuki Swift and went to go have a look. We're on the way to go and see the Mark V Golf GTI. I've just done a HPI check on it, it's all clear, and it's only ever had 2 previous owners. The last guy I think owned it for 17 years. It's got a few problems with it, of course, but I definitely think it's worth a look. It's only about 40 minutes from the unit, so we're gonna go check it out, see what it's like, and hopefully we can come to some sort of deal on it, get it, fix it, and move it on. Let's go. And after a 40-minute drive, I saw the car. I can actually see the car from here. We're at a place called Alpine, and I think they specialise in performance cars. And this was a part exchange that they've offered me for a good price, as long as we can kind of drive it home, which I hope we can, but there it is. So we are at Alpine Performance Cars, and these guys obviously specialise in performance cars. This came in as a part exchange to them with a few issues, and it's a little bit too high mileage for their kind of catalogue. So they've offered it me. Now this is obviously a black 3-door Mark V Golf GTI, and the best thing about it is inside here it's got the full leather interior and it's even DSG, but there is apparently a bit of an intermittent fault with this car. The engine light comes on, comes off, so that's something we're going to have to dive into before we can let this car go. But it's got the nice alloys on it. They are going to need a refurb. We're probably going to need a front tyre or two, but I haven't even started it yet, so let's give it a quick start. Hopefully it starts anyway. These are nice. I really like these, especially with it being DSG. It's perfect. Right. Oh yeah, the engine light is on. It's only done 115,000 miles. I don't think that's much at all, really. Obviously these guys specialise in like newer, lower mileage cars, but I don't think that's much at all. I think it's pretty good. I think if we can get this for the right price, this would be perfect. It's also got the screen, look. It's got a Pioneer screen in it as well. I like it. What do you think?
I like it.
Hold on. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Okay, right. Let's go in, speak to the guys, see what we can do on it, and then I guess it's time to drive it home. Hopefully it makes it back, and then see if we can fix it. Okay, money has been sent, and now it's my job to get this back to the unit and try and fix it. Well, let's hope it gets back to the unit. Let's go. Look at what it's got. The original Volkswagen bottle opener. Do you know how rare they are? Like they always get like taken out and they're never found again. They go in the middle there to separate the drinks. They're like rocking horse. Sick. Right, let's go.
Let's see if he notices that. Enjoy your warm bum.
Okay, let's go. First thing, we need a petrol station. We have got a service now light on the dashboard and the engine light, so we're gonna have to dive into them and see what they are. I did forget my scan tool like a muppet, but we'll have to see. Right, let's go. And shortly after pulling away, I noticed another issue. Seatbelt? I've got my seatbelt on. For now, I'm just gonna have to ignore that and we'll fix it at a later date. I need to get to a petrol station so I can get this car back to the unit. So far, the seatbelt light doesn't go off. So it's beeping as soon as I get above 10 miles an hour.
Notice it's got heated seats.
Heated? No wonder I'm sweating. I might even have them on. I didn't know it had heated seats. It's a really good spec actually.
You didn't put them on.
You put them on. I thought I was sweating as well. My back is dripping.
I feel myself turning them on.
Right, let's pay for the fuel and then get to the unit. So after Georgia thought she was funny, we took the car down the motorway, and as far as I'm concerned, the car drives pretty well, but I guess we're going to find out exactly what's wrong with it. Well, the Golf has made it back, and do you know what? It actually drives pretty good. There's no knocks, no bangs. Apparently, there is a little bit of black smoke coming out the back of it, which to me might indicate that that engine light is something maybe to do with injectors or fueling, with it running a little bit rich. But as you can see, this is a 2008 car, and if you didn't already know, from the years 2007 to 2021, millions of car finance agreements were actually missold due to hidden commission arrangements. Which means when this car was brand new, there is a high chance that someone financed it to take it off the forecourt, which means there could still be hidden commission arrangements in this car. Now, an estimated £8.2 billion could be owed to over 14 million UK drivers, and Refund Club are helping you find out if you're one of them. Now, yeah, you could do it yourself. You could try and find all of your paperwork for your finance agreement, try and contact the lender, manage all the back and forth, but what you could do is give yourself 60 seconds with Refund Club and they will sort out everything else. They pull together your past agreements, check them with the lenders, and if yours looks valid, they pass it to their own in-house law firm. Their fee is deducted from the compensation of the remaining balance before it's paid to you. So even if you've had 2 or 3 finance arrangements between the years 2007 and 2021, that could potentially mean 2 or 3 claims. And with the average successful claim being around £829, that money will stack up fast. They cover all major UK lenders: Black Horse, Motor Novo, Mercedes Finance, Barclays and many more. So if you finance through one of the high street brands, then you're covered. Oh, and they're also rated excellent on Trustpilot. So if you're someone like me that values your time and is always busy, then give Refund Club 60 seconds with your name and address instead of leaving it untouched for months ahead. Hit the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen for a free check. Right, let's get stuck into this Golf. Okay, let's fix this Golf. But first, one thing I didn't realise is this thing actually comes with 2 keys, and the service history with this car is pretty much unlimited. We've got valves on the tyres, we've got oil services in here, DSG services. There is a massive stack of paperwork with this car, which is very, very good to know. But what we want to know is why is that engine light on the dashboard. So let's scan it through. Okay, this is either going to be something really simple or really bad, but shout out to Top Don for sending out this sick scan tool. This is gonna do me absolute wonders in fixing all these cars, even the supercar when we get there. But let's scan this through and yeah, see what it's saying. So here we go, the moment of truth. Is this gonna be something that I can't fix, or is it gonna be something pretty simple? I'm about to find out. 2 faults on the engine control module, 1 on the air conditioning, 2 on the central electrics, 5 on the steering column electrics, but every single Golf I've scanned has always had steering column electric fault codes. It's like, I don't know. Door electronics driver's side, headlight regulation. What I want to know is what's on the engine control module. Okay, EVAP emissions control incorrect purge flow. System 2 lean at idle, bank 1. That one's active and that one's a passive. That's most likely going to be. Could that be the PCV? Let's Google it. And luckily, after a quick Google search, I found out that this fault code is pretty common on these cars, so there might be a little bit of hope. Fault code P54 indicates an EVAP emissions control. This means the car's computer has detected an issue with how fuel vapours are being pulled from the charcoal canister and burned in the engine. Loose or damaged gas cap, leaking or blocked EVAP hoses. Okay, and then we'll search the other fault code, which is P2187. Let's see what that is. System 2 leak, failed PCV valve, or yeah. Try pull off the oil cap while the engine is idling. If it feels stuck down tightly with strong suction, the engine does not change how it runs, your PCV valve is likely broken. Try pull off the oil. Should we try that?
Sure.
Let's give that a go. If anyone knows best, it's definitely AI, so I'm going to quickly check what they have recommended me to do. So I'm going to pull this oil cap off and just see how hard it is to remove. No, that was quite... That's not hard to take off at all. So, look closely at the flexible rubber hoses. Okay, we're gonna have to do a little bit more digging, but that little test that Google has shown me to try indicates that the PCV valve is okay, so yeah.
Both of these fault codes are all to do with the EVAP system, the PCV, the purge valve, and any hoses that are connected to them. So maybe these two fault codes are interlinked and fixing one might fix the other. So I think the first thing that makes sense to do is get in the engine bay and start getting my hands dirty. I'm going to take off this engine cover that is also the air intake so I can have a closer look at all the different components that make up this EVAP system.
Yeah.
This right here is the purge valve. It is a key part to this EVAP system on these engines, and these are something that are really common to failing on these engines as well, so I think it makes sense to remove it. I'm pretty sure this is the original one because these clips are one-time use unless someone has replaced them, but I'm going to get them off. I'm going to replace them with Jubilee clamps, but first I want to test to see if this purge valve is doing what it should be.
The little purge valve is off. Now what I want to be testing with this, inside of here, these like open and close for the fuel tank kind of vapors or whatever you'd call it. And basically, if you can blow through this end and it comes out this end, then internally it has gone wrong and it's staying open, which would cause an internal kind of vacuum leak. It might not even be an external leak. So, no, that's fine. No, that is doing what it should be doing. So, it makes me think that it could be the PCV valve that has also gone wrong. So, I think I'll do a little bit more research before, which way did this even go? That way. I'll do a little bit more research before we maybe order a PCV valve, because I think with these, if I remember from when I had a Mark V GTI, these go wrong, but there's no signs, like there's no physical kind of signs of them going wrong. So for now, I'll put this back because to be fair, that looks like a fairly new part, doesn't it? That looks quite new. So that's doing what it should be. That's good. Next thing is that.
Before I move on to any of the other components, I think it's wise just to do another double check on this purge valve. So instead of me trying to blow and suck through it, I'm going to reconnect it on one side of the hoses. The right hand side I'm going to leave disconnected. I'm still going to plug it into the electric harness, but what I want to know is when I turn this car on cold start, if it is trying to suck air. If it is, that means that this purge valve is definitely stuck open. But if for the first 5 minutes it doesn't try and take any air in, and after 5 minutes it starts to try and pull air, we know that it's doing exactly what it should be. So let's find out.
And yeah, there's still no suction on that, so we'll let the car get up to temperature, a little bit warmer, give it about 5 to 10 minutes, and then see if that starts drawing air in, which if it does, then that is definitely working fine.
So I left the car to do its thing. I want it to come off cold start, and I want to try and listen if there's any changes in the sound, or if I can feel with my finger if there's any air trying to be sucked in by that purge valve. And after a while, I start to hear a pretty weird noise.
Oh, you know what? You can actually hear it. Okay. You can hear it trying to suck air in. And when I put my finger over it, it stops. Okay, so that, I think that's the purge valve. That is definitely working as it should be.
Next, it's time to have a look at this PCV valve.
Okay, the next thing that these codes on here are telling me that it could be, after I've Googled it, is this PCV valve. But like I say, you can't really tell if they've gone wrong until you kind of replace them. But one thing I think it makes sense to check first before we spend any money is do a smoke test on this car, because if there's any pipes down here or any vacuum hoses that might have a tiny split in them, doing a smoke test is going to be able to tell us if there's something leaking externally. And if there isn't, I'm going to say it probably needs a new PCV valve. This does look the same as the rest of the engine, kind of age-wise. Whereas if you look at that, it looks pretty new compared to something like that. So it could still be the PCV valve, but I think it makes sense just to do a bit more diagnosing before spending any money. So let's smoke test it.
This is a smoke tester, and for it to work, you need baby oil. Yeah, a bit awkward taking this to the counter, but what this does is it heats up the baby oil and turns it into vapor, as you can see here. So I'm putting the special rubber pump into the intake pipe and pumping it up to create a seal so the smoke doesn't leak back out. What this will do is force the smoke through the engine, and if there's any leaks, I'll be able to actually see them and see where they're coming from. So now I've just got to wait.
Okay, the only bit of vapor I can see is coming out of this little connection right here. I'm not exactly sure what that is, maybe just a crankcase breather or something, but there's a tiny little bit of smoke just seeping out of that. Apart from that, I can't really see anywhere else this is leaking from, which, I mean, could that throw an engine light? Could that little leak there throw an engine light, or is it the PCV? Interesting. Let me take this off and just see what I can find, because this, yeah, I do think this is literally just a breather. So if I connect it again, still leaking a tiny little bit around here. What I might do is just put a rag around this to maybe stop it leaking for now, and just see if we can get it to go further through the system, and maybe we'll find another one, I don't know.
So I'm going to give it a little bit more time, and after about 5 minutes I still couldn't really see any leaks, except the dipstick.
Okay, that's quite weird. I've covered the dipstick kind of hole and it's stopped leaking out of here now. When I put the dipstick in, you'll be able to see that it's actually seeping out of this dipstick. And apparently the dipsticks are common on this, and something I've also seen is there's no like rubber kind of O-ring or anything on the dipstick. I mean, I don't think that's going to cause an engine light, but it's definitely not going to help. Maybe I should definitely order, well, I would definitely order a new dipstick, because that's not good. Apart from that, I can't really see any of the leaks on here. Okay, so we know this purge valve down here is working as it should. What we don't know is what this PCV valve is doing, but one thing I keep reading online, which there's no way this is going to fix it, is to make sure that the petrol cap isn't damaged, broken, and is sealing properly. Oops. Now, I mean, yeah, that's fine. I knew it weren't going to be that, but I thought I've got to check, because there's going to be someone that's telling me to check. There's no leaks. I can't really tell if there's any internal leaks, and we've still got that fault code, and we know this valve is good. So I'm very, very tempted to take off all this PCV system, and I mean, everyone says that you can't visually inspect if these have gone wrong, but I'm just intrigued to check. So let's take this PCV valve off, and I don't know, is this even the original one? Definitely looks like the original one. Let's just take it off and see what it looks like. So let's take off this PCV valve. Firstly, there's 2 breather hoses going to it, so I'm going to disconnect them, and then there's 4 T30 Torx bolts holding it to the rocker cover, and once they're off, the PCV valve's off. Yeah, there's just like no way of seeing if this is damaged or not. Okay, PCV valve is off, and yeah, as suspected, there is not really any way of telling if these have gone wrong or not. The only thing I can confirm is that this is an original part. Well, I don't know if it's the original one for the car, but it's definitely a Volkswagen Audi part. So a little bit stumped here. I think it's best to just do a little bit more research before we fire any money at this thing, and just see if there's anything else I can diagnose. I know this charcoal canister can be the culprit for one of these problems, but it looks like someone's recently put a new hose on it, so I don't know. I'm not saying that this could be the problem, but it's to do with the EVAP system, so I'm just going to remove it and see what it is like. Apparently these could get clogged with fuel, and to get this out it's pretty easy as well. There's just 3 10mm bolts holding it down, and then 2 hoses on the top that go to it. You know what? That actually feels really heavy. Look how gunked up it all is in there. Oh my God, that's full to the brim. That might be it. It is literally full to the brim. Check this out. Look at this. Like, this is absolutely jam-packed with... Oh my God, should that be like that? I feel like that should be like that, and I've just ruined it. Or should it be? I don't actually know. I don't know. I'm gonna have to Google that. Turns out that should be full of them little pellets. That's like the filter. But for how cheap these are, I am just going to buy a new one, just to kind of eliminate that this could have somehow gone wrong. And I think it does just make sense to buy another PCV valve. At least that will be done there, because as far as I'm kind of seeing, that's the only thing that we can't really see or test without just buying a new one. So we'll order one of these, we'll order one of them. For now, I think it makes sense, while we're waiting on the parts, to take these wheels off and get them to the wheelman, because these have gone all horrible and nasty. These are diamond cut, they've been curbed, and I think we are going to need a tyre or 2. So we'll get the car in the air, get the wheels off, and take them to the wheelman. I think it makes sense to go silver with these, just so it's OEM kind of looking and it's a neutral colour. So let's get them off. Now the parts are on order. Instead of sitting around waiting, I might as well start another job on this car that is going to need taking care of, which is the wheels. We're going to go to the wheelman for these. Of course, it's where we go for all our wheels and tyres. So I'm going to try and get these wheels off, but of course not without a little mishap. Wow, they're on. Oh. Well, we're off. I'm not sure if these have ever been refurbed or not, but once the lacquer starts to deteriorate on diamond cut alloys, they start to look really bad. And I think we are going to also need a couple of tyres. So let's get them to the wheelman. We're back with Sam again. And we're going to be dropping the wheels off as always, and he's going to be making these look like brand new. We are going to get 2 new tyres because 1 or 2 of these are looking a little bit worn, so that's something that the next owner won't have to worry about. So we'll leave them in the safe hands of Sam, and we can carry on trying to fix this Golf. Okay, Thanks to Motor Parts Direct, parts have arrived to hopefully fix this Golf once and for all. In here, we should have a brand new PCV valve to replace that old one. In here, we should have a brand new charcoal canister to replace that one. And in here, we should have a brand new dipstick to replace that one. Hopefully, it is one of these things. With how cheap these are, I just thought I'd replace them all just to eliminate that. If the code doesn't go away after that, then we're gonna have to dive a lot deeper. But for now, let's get all of this changed over, clear the codes, and then get the wheels back on once they're finished being refurbed, take it for a drive, and hopefully this has worked.
Before I can replace this charcoal canister, I've got to remove the little bracket that's on the back of the original one. This swaps over to the new one and allows you to bolt it into the chassis with them 10mm bolts. So we're going to get that swapped over. Before I install this canister, I am going to replace that hose that it came with, just for good measure. Then I can start refitting them 10mm bolts that hold down the canister, and of course, them 2 hoses back on top. And that's that job done. Now, onto the dipstick, which, of course, didn't go to plan.
Well, that's just great, isn't it? Dipstick. Doesn't fit. Literally. Engine oil dipstick level indicator, VW Golf Mark 5, 2004 to 2008, and it doesn't fit, and it doesn't even have the little kind of grips to grip onto there, so we'll have to get a dipstick at a later date, but that is useless for me. Okay, PCV valve next.
Now I'm on to the PCV valve. I'm going to first install the little orange gasket, make sure it's nice and flush and pushed in all the way. Then I'm going to reinstall them 4 T30 bolts and plug the 2 hoses in. Again, a really simple job. And last but not least, I'm going to refit the engine cover, which again doubles up as the air intake. Without this, I wouldn't be able to plug the MAF sensor in, so we can't test it. I'm going to put it back on the engine, push it down into the rubber grommets, refit the intake pipe, plug the MAF sensor back in, and also rebolt the little air intake that goes through the grille. And now, it's time to test it.
Another problem now, check out this battery terminal. It's gone all like oxidised and horrible, and I can't get the car to turn on now. So I'm going to take this terminal off, give it all a clean, and hopefully then we can kind of jump start it, but it's got no power whatsoever, like literally nothing. So yeah, let's see if that works.
And once I'd taken care of that and hoovered away all of that oxidation, I decided to give the terminals a little Scotch-Brite just to make sure that they're getting the best connection that they can. And now we can get the car turned on.
Everything's working, it just won't turn over. Hold on. It's trying a bit more now. We'll leave it a second. And we'll try again in a sec. Come on. I don't get it though, because that should start, because it's like running off the power of your battery at the minute. And it's just not starting. Do you know what I might do? I'm going to clear the codes now. And then maybe, I don't know, maybe it might start. So yeah, let's clear the codes. Yeah, look, it's saying it's got 13.82 volts, so that should start. Yes! Oh my god, the engine light's gone off. I haven't even scanned it through yet, and the engine light's just cleared itself. Obviously the battery's been off. We've got loads of lights on the dash because of all the electrics that have been unplugged. Yeah, I think I need to drive it for that steering wheel and the traction control and stuff to go off, but the engine light's actually gone off by itself, which is good. Let's just clear the codes anyway, in case there still is any stuck on it. But this engine sounds sweet, doesn't it? Let's see what it says.
But then, while I was scanning the car, I noticed a bit of an issue with the engine. Something didn't sound right.
What was that? Is it rocking on the ramp?
It's the engine.
Is it? Go see what it's doing.
I think it wants to die. It's like rocking and then making that noise.
Like it's misfiring, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, let's scan it.
For some reason, straight after I'd revved the car, when it was dropping back down to its idle, it was kind of hunting for its idle and sounding like it was misfiring, but there was still no engine light on the dashboard. So I'm going to scan it through and just see what fault codes come back up. I have had the battery off, so maybe it's something to do with that and it just needs a drive.
Okay, they're all passive now. Power supply voltage too low. EVAP system passive. They've all gone to passive, whereas one of them used to be current. So I'm going to erase all of them. Successfully been cleared. Reads right, it's got no fault codes. If it's still what is that? Just rev it a sec for me. That's well weird. But there is no engine light and no fault codes. I'll tell you what, I'm going to come out and scan it again just to see. Yeah, no fault codes. Okay.
Maybe it needs to just be driven.
Yeah, maybe it's the battery, because the battery's been flat for a while. Right. We've just been told that the wheels are finished being refurbed. So, next stop, head to the wheelman, get these wheels on, and then I think we take it for a drive and scan it through, see if that has definitely fixed it or not, because hopefully it has, and hopefully it stops doing that weird noise thing. Right, let's go.
But then, just before we were about to set off to go and grab the alloys, I realised that I hadn't cleared the rest of the codes, that I'd only gone into the engine control module and cleared what was in there. And then, it worked.
Okay, good news, I've just cleared all the fault codes on the car. There was like 26 because the battery had died. We've still got the warning lights on the dashboard, but if you give it a rev, Georgia, it stopped doing that weird like hunting for idle thing. So I'm assuming it was just one of the probably electrical things, maybe like the mass sensor, I don't know, and something that was making it kind of have to hunt for its idle, but that is a quick problem solved. So let's go get the wheels and let's drive this thing. Okay, we're back at the wheelman where he's replaced 2 of the tyres and refurbed the alloys. I think they look way better than Diamond Cut, don't you?
I think so, yeah.
I much just prefer silver alloys. I don't know, I've just never been a fan of that Diamond Cut. Yeah, they look wicked. What colour's that, Sam?
It's sport silver.
Sport silver,
Yeah.
nice.
I think it's got some knackered centre caps. But
I know, I'll probably order some of them.
yeah,
Chuck them
you
on
might
there.
want to check them out before you put them on the car.
Oh yeah, very true, sound.
Yeah.
Sick. Right, as always, Sam's link to the Wheelman will be in the description down below. As always, let's get them on the Golf. Cheers, mate.
No worries.
Legend.
These are looking far better, so let's get them straight back to the unit and get them back on the car. I am going to order some new centre caps because they're the only thing that are now letting these wheels down. You can't be going back to original silver, they just look way better in my opinion. So let me get all 4 of them back on, and then we can get the battery tray back on top of the battery and take this thing for a drive. Okay, here we go. Is this Golf actually fixed or not? Come on, please. I really hope it is, because it's such a nice example of one of these. And that engine light was letting it down, so come on. Okay, the seatbelt light is still beeping at me. We're gonna have to fix that, but so far all the lights have gone off for the steering wheel and ABS and traction control and stuff like that, and the engine light hasn't come back on so far. We're in manual mode as well. Gearbox actually feels really, really good on this. So far so good. Surely it has to be one of them 3 things. We checked the purge valve, it was good, and we've replaced the PCV and charcoal canister, so it drives so nice. No knocks, no bangs, the gearbox is so sharp. Oh my god, it might actually be fixed. It might actually be fixed. One thing I did actually notice is the charcoal canisters, the new one, when I shook it, it didn't like have all them loose bits in it. It was like all kind of one. Obviously the one that I didn't realise, the one before, all the bits just kind of fell out. So I don't know if that could have made the difference. I'm not entirely sure, but so far we're looking pretty good. And after driving the car around for about 15 minutes, the engine light still didn't come back. I think it's fixed. I think it is fixed. The seatbelt light is still on, but it's just stopped beeping. I've been driving for about 15-20 minutes now, and the engine light is still off. I think it's fixed. The engine light has stayed off, but I guess we're not going to know until we go and scan it again. Hopefully there is no fault codes come back. If there is, then I'm a little bit stumped, I can't lie. No trouble codes. Get in. Yes, nice, easy fix. That is what we like to see. Okay, there's another job I want to do on this Golf, and it's something to do with the aesthetics and how this car actually looks, because there's one thing that's bolted to this car that I personally think is massively letting it down, and that is this tow bar. It's a petrol, it's not a diesel. Okay, it's got some power and it can tow, but this isn't a car you're really wanting to be towed with. It's a GTI, it should be used for fun. This looks so bad, ugly and awful back here, so I think it would be a little bit criminal to leave it on, because it really does ruin that rear end. So let's quickly get this off, and then we've got a good looking fixed GTI. I'm not sure who decided to put this tow bar on, but in my opinion, this is really letting the back end down. So I'm going to undo the two 19mm bolts holding the actual towing eye on, and then I realised this might not be as easy as I thought. Nice. Someone's cut a hole in the rear valance. That is just great. I'm not entirely sure, because this to me doesn't look OEM. It's like got an aftermarket brand on it, but looking behind the bumper, it looks like this is actually part of the crash bar. But surely some like Volkswagen wouldn't have cut it out like this. Like, it just doesn't look like a OEM kind of thing. I guess the only way to find out is take off this rear bumper. So we'll get this off and kind of see what we're working with, because if it's part of the rear bumper, it's part of the rear crash bar, then it might even be worth me just trying to find a rear crash bar for a Mark 5 GTI and maybe even a rear valance and just deleting the whole thing. But yeah, let's get this bumper off and find out. To get these off, the headlights need to come out. So let's start here. This is one of them jobs that we're literally just putting the car back to how it should be, so it almost seems pointless, but it's really going to bug me if I don't do it. So first thing to do is get the rear lights out. There's two 10mm bolts holding each light in, and of course the electrical plug going to each of them. One headlight. Two headlights. Now I can start undoing all of the T30 bolts holding this bumper to the car. There's 4 on top where the headlights were, and now I'm in the wheel arch undoing the 3 bolts that are connecting the rear bumper to the wheel arch itself. I'm doing this on the right side and of course doing it on the left side. Then there's 2 more T30 bolts underneath. Okay, I've got to be honest, I'm pretty sure this isn't OEM. It's obviously got a tow bar, but the tow bar is also part of the rear crash bar. It's been cable tied here, and the cable goes up through the like kind of, I don't know what you call this, it's the breather for when you shut the doors, it doesn't cause like, whatever. It's definitely not OEM, because these normally bolt 1, 2, and then underneath somewhere there should be like a 3rd bolt somewhere. I know on this side there is, you can see 1 bolt, 2 bolt, and then there would be the 3 bolt for the original crash bar to kind of bolt inwards like so. This one hasn't got it, so I think it makes sense to take this off, I don't know, either cut the wiring or something, and yeah, get a new crash bar really, because that just makes the car look so ugly. I mean, there'll be probably 3 people out there that say, leave it on, it's a really good tow car. It isn't, it's a GTI. So, let's get this off. I'm not entirely sure how it comes off, because it's kind of just bolts, not holding anything, but we'll see. Luckily, I managed to find the other 2 19mm bolts, so I'm going to get them off as well, and the 2 19mm bolts that are holding the middle bar to the brackets on each side. Oh. Okay, the bar's out. I don't know what they... Oh my god. Can you see down there? There is a bolt all the way down the back there. Can we even get to that? Oh, we can. Luckily, after a little bit of searching, I managed to find another 2 19mm bolts all the way back down that little crevice. So I'm going to get that out, and hopefully now them brackets will come out. Like, feel how heavy that is. That's a right sturdy bit of kit, isn't it? Right. Other side. Of course, I'm doing the same again for the passenger side, taking out that 19mm bolt, and that bracket should come loose. We're out. I
Okay, we're gonna have to try and find a rear valance for this bumper because it's got that horrible cutout in it, which is just gonna really let the rear end down. We're also gonna have to try and find and source a rear crash bar, an OEM original crash bar, just so it is pretty much, well, it will be back to how it left the factory. And then we're gonna tidy this car up and make it absolutely mint. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to get them done right now because we've got to try and find the parts. And then after that, there are a few little niggly bits with this car that need doing. But as far as now, the engine light has stayed off, the gearbox is good, the wheels are looking amazing, and I want to make this car pretty much perfect because it's most likely going to be going to one of you guys. So it's got to be decent. So although we can't get it all finished in this video, we are going to get it finished in the next one, and we're going to make this thing pretty sweet. So if you did enjoy this video, please remember to like, comment and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Yeah. O sol nasceu, novo dia chegando. Estamos cantando.